Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you an overpowered build that's immortal in Palworld's 1.0 update. The best part about this is it is relatively easy to set up and it counters every single boss in the game, so we can do some pretty crazy stuff. You're seeing Venusa there, who is actually pretty much immortal at this point, and they have an insane move pool, so you can equip any type of attack here. I have it spec'd out with some poison and electric attacks here so that we can apply poison as well as blind on this boss here, scale up its damage, and with a few different pals, we actually become immortal. We take 80% less damage and we get lifesteal, so that even though we're in this vortex here, you see we are taking literally no damage at all because our health is getting recovered. And that was the hard mode boss. You can see I got the hat there, but this party works because of Venusa. Now this is a strategy I talked about in a previous video here, because whenever you attack, you're going to inflict blind while Venusa's in your party. The other great thing about Venusa is that it has access to a ton of moves. Now it actually has some of the absolute best moves in the game. So this works against Panthalus because she gets both Thunderstorm and Thunder Rain, two huge area of effect attacks that shredded, and you saw there, destroyed Shenron or Xiaolong there, and Poison Fog. Now Poison Fog is really nice because this guarantees that the target will become poisoned, which is going to boost up Prickster here. So Prickster will increase our attack damage and our pals damage by 65% against targets that are poisoned when it's maxed out of 5 stars. Now this is great too because we can also throw on Bakemi here. There are other options I'll break down this video, but this reduces the damage you take by 80%. That's insane. So not only are we dealing more damage, but we're also reducing the damage we take. Furthermore, since we're going to be applying blind when we personally attack when Venusa's in our party, Rouge is a great choice, who's also actually pretty strong. They have a good amount of attack here, but this will increase our and our pals damage by 65%. And of course, the Goat Orzerk here, which will increase our damage by 5% for every bullet. The drone launcher actually counts, and that will scale up our damage upwards of 150%. So this setup here is absolutely insane. I'm going to break down everything that you guys need to know. Now, this is an awakened version of Venusa here that has their level 5 skill maxed out. I'd recommend condensing them because this will get their attack power up as high as you possibly can get it. Now, this is a huge strategy because we're not only basically unkillable, but we do respectable damage ourselves, as you saw in that hard mode. And we can sub things out. Like if you don't want to, if you find you're not having many getting hit often, take up Bakemi, throw on Solen, which will boost our attack power by 80%, which is a huge boost. Or if you want a different defensive approach, Lylene can restore health and also revive. You can go with Lylene Noct alternatively. You could also use Dandalord, who is a really powerful new pal here. And the great thing about Dandalord is you can actually have him out alongside you and apply poison. Although we don't have the same effects, you'd probably want to swap it out for one of these here, probably Rouge. Another one I want to mention is Celestier Noct. This will increase the pal fighting alongside you's attack by 80%, but they'll gradually lose health. The thing is though, we can actually get some pretty good life sustain by using the Immortal passive feature. And another version is you could just swap out Venusa and ride on Frostalion's back here, which can apply dark and also blind. It'll change your attack type to dark and inflict blind and increase the attack by 40%. I will likely do a video breaking down Frostalion Noct a little bit further. It's one of my favorite pals in this game. But the big thing here is our passive skill Immortality. This gives 5% lifesteal, and despite like her attack is so crazy, so despite 5% not sounding like a lot, it really is because you can poison them, and then we're doing some insane damage with her attacks, which will swap depending on the boss. So I'll cover that in a moment. But Immortality also gives 100% health regeneration rate, so they'll recover a bit quicker, and 50% attack. I also have Demon God for 30% extra attack and 5% defense. Serenity will give the skills back quicker, which is actually kind of important so that we can get our Poison Fog back in like 23 seconds, so very useful for that. As well, it gives us a 10% attack boost. Now I also have Diamond Body. This gives a 30% increase in the defense here. Not that we need defense, but it's the immunity to flinch and knockback, which can be a downside to using Venusa. However, if that doesn't bother you, throw on Musclehead, you'll get a further increased 30% attack, which is quite a bit. Now, our moves are important. Now, Poison Fog is one that I always like to keep equipped because she has a really good ability to just apply poison this way. Poison's interesting too because it will stack with every other condition in the game. So you can use this and have blind off. You can do a fire party. I will be posting videos for those shortly, but Poison Fog is like a non-negotiable. I like to have it on at all times. Now, I was going against a water boss there, so that's why I threw on Thunder Rain and Thunderstorm. These two absolutely destroy Panthalus because they're huge area of effect attacks that do a good amount of damage. Now, if you're going against like a grass type boss, I like to go with Fireball and Flame Wall. Flare Storm is another good one, which will create the Flame Tornadoes. So those, again, personal preference at that point. It really depends on the boss you're going against. Like the Moon Lord, for example, gets destroyed by Hydro Slicer and Hydro Laser here. So those are two good options. But otherwise, Aqua Surge is another really good option for attacks for her. As we look at grass type attacks, Grass Tornado is an okay choice, but Circle Vine is insane. This just destroys bosses. Solar Blast and Wind Burst. These are your three best in my opinion. I really like Wind Burst, especially against the Moon Lord. This creates a huge vortex around them. It's pretty much a guaranteed hit. As mentioned, I already went over the electric attacks. For ice, she doesn't get the best ice attacks, but she does get things like Blizzard Spike, not double Blizzard Spike, which is a good choice. Absolute Frost is not a bad one as well, and Freeze Wall can work great too. Sand Tornado, a really great ground type attack, and she also gets Sand Twister, which is like a better version of that, and then also Rocky Impact. She does get an insane amount of dark type attacks. Apocalypse is one of my favorites. I'm sure everyone's got theirs as well. Dark Wisp can be good too, Dark Laser, and even Poison Scatter is her unique skill. So typically I would like to have that equipped at all points because it is actually a really nice attack. So if we were to go with like a full dark team setup, same type attack bonus in the game is only 20%. So it's not like an insane big difference. That's why we're actually able to swap and use different moves and still destroy hard mode bosses. But Poison Scatter, Apocalypse, and Poison Fog is like my favorite three choices for her. But that's not all, folks. She also has Dragon types moves. Dragon Meteor, somehow she learns that. So that and Beam Slicer are pretty good choices. You can go again with whatever you prefer. Poison Fog will always be equipped. Prickster also has actually some pretty good move choices. So I had him spec'd out for a lightning team. You don't really need to have him out because Venusa is just going to be immortal. He's really just there for emotional support. And actually the two pals that I would recommend bringing for actual, like, if Venusa somehow ever were to go down, she won't because of the defensive boost and the lifesteal. Rouge and Orzerk are our best options for damage. Rouge's got a 4900 attack and he's got 51k. I really like him in Meteor Rain, his unique skill Porticanos, and the Lightning Bolt here, but you can swap that out for like Thunder Rain or Lightning Storm there. Now, really, we're just going to be focused mostly on Venusa because she does everything we need her to do, and we're there for the ancillary support because our best weapons to choose from, I always like to have the drone launcher equipped. If you don't have this, Terra Prisma works the same, where it's going to hit multiple times, which will activate Orzerk's skill, which is going to give that 150% bonus to attack. Beam Scatter and Combat SMG are my two favorite weapons for this particular setup. Combat SMG is really fast firing, so you can apply blind quickly. It also is really quick at applying Orzerk's buff, and you can kind of just spam that. I like the Beam Tosser or Beam Scatter. This thing is just an absolute beast of a weapon. And I also like to roll with the Mechanical Bow. This thing is actually very strong, especially if there's a boss like weak points like Panthalus. You can shoot the gem on his forehead really easily. And that is typically what I roll with, the grappling gun. Now for our accessories, the Lord of the Underworld's baton here is super useful, increasing the pal's attack power and dark enhancement, especially if we're using a dark type attack. You can swap that around for different, like this one here will still boost its attack, but increase their electric damage as well. And if you want to, you can throw on all the batons here because they do boost up their attacks, even if they're not using that element. So you can go with those there. But yeah, we always want the dark version on. I also had the attack pendant. This boosts up our attack by 15%, which is nice. But again, this will give them a slight bit more damage. So you can run 3 batons and also throw in the Dogen emblem, which will increase our attack and our pal's attack too. I have the triple jump boots. I just love to use them. But if you really wanted to min-max, you could go with something like this, which will boost up her attack even further to 4,500. And then Orzerk's is like almost 6,000 there. So yeah, just to show that these do work in tandem. So yeah, we can face off against things like Hartalis here, and the nice thing is she's just going to be basically immune to everything because if she takes damage, she ends up healing herself back. We're there to try and apply the blind off on her, just so that she will end up getting that 65% damage boost. This is a raid boss, level 70 here. This is meant to be done with your party. I'm getting that stupid lag again. Basically, we're just here just trying to shoot off at the target. We also just want to try and avoid their attacks there. We do get the damage reduction, but yeah, you can just let her take care of business there and just absolutely destroy this boss. So yeah, you can go with some different moves here, but the dark type, I just typically just roll with those here, but you can swap them out mid-combat. Actually, is kind of funny. So depending on what you're facing off against there, always just keep the poison attack on there, and you can see that's really good because they're just getting that super effective damage off now. So yeah, she is an absolute beast. I highly recommend using her. Just the crazy amount of moves that she has access to are just incredible. But yeah, she can tank pretty much everything. She's getting hit with that beam attack and it doesn't even do anything. Also, she didn't get hit with any of the negative effects there, so we can just beam away at the boss. So yeah, this is meant to be like a hardcore challenge, but you can see she has so much lifesteal and sustain that she just doesn't even get hurt by this boss. It's actually hilarious. So yeah, we can just absolutely melt it like crazy. And just like that, we have taken down Hartalis here. Really easily, very, very easily. So yeah, this is an insanely powerful build. Yeah, big win, big win. And I even forgot to feed it a Mazarina cheeseburger for that extra 20% damage. But you guys got the idea. This is a very powerful, immortal, and overpowered build in Palworld's 1.0 update. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I will be having a fire themed build coming out tomorrow, so you can stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you enjoyed. We'll catch you in the next one.